I'm from Pennacook, New Hampshire, really small town. We're a village of the capital, so not very many people there, but since then, I've kind of been all over the country, coast to coast, moving around a lot. My favorite place was probably Raleigh, where we're here right now. I just enjoyed the balance of weather and culture and all of that. My favorite style of training is kind of bodybuilding-esque training where you're just focusing on feeling the muscles, building strength, and just feeling good while you're doing it. My favorite things to do would be things like in the woods, like the backcountry, camping, hiking, fishing. But on top of that, I really enjoy cooking and just experimenting with different foods and challenging myself to cook new things. My favorite cheat meal would be ice cream. I think with the amount and volume of ice cream, that does definitely qualify as a full meal, specifically Ben & Jerry's milk and cookies. My least favorite exercise would be the rear foot elevated split squat. No matter the amount of weight, the repetitions you do, it sucks. And I'm always sore in my glutes and my quads, again, no matter the weight, the repetitions, or whatever. Just doing it is uncomfortable. My favorite exercise would be the incline dumbbell bench press. I just love how it feels. I like the muscles that it works on specifically, and I feel like I can always push myself, and I feel good pushing myself, and I don't hurt afterwards. My favorite hack or tip to get back on track would be to focus on protein, making sure I eat enough protein throughout the day and throughout each meal. Once I get that, everything else just kind of falls into place. I'm focused on some aspect of my health and wellness, and that usually gets me in the right mindset to stay honest with myself for the rest of the day too. The advice that I would give someone who's just starting out would be to start really small, almost like you feel guilty with how small it's going, and just build consistency with that. Focus on building muscle in whatever you do, enjoying and finding enjoyment in the thing that you're doing, and just sticking with it until you feel like you can add more to your life. The worst fitness advice that I've heard or seen is pushing through pain and just accepting the fact that you're going to hurt. I think we need to identify what kind of pain it is, whether it's a joint pain or just a muscle fatigue pain, and like really understanding what our body's feeling and how it's feeling when we're working out or after we're working out. If you feel something in the joint, it's probably a bad thing. So we want to be able to feel it in the muscle, push ourselves to the point where maybe we aren't walking some days, but we're at least pushing ourselves to be consistent with showing up to the gym and showing up for ourselves. My favorite high protein snack would be beef jerky or Greek yogurt. I'm pretty basic with my Greek yogurt. If I'm feeling frisky, I'll add some cinnamon and honey or maple syrup. But generally speaking, it's just plain Greek yogurt. One of my most memorable stories was right before I moved to Raleigh this last time. I went on a month-long road trip to out west, and this was in December of 2024. So going to the Northwest in December, it's wintertime, I decided I wanted to camp and hike my way around the Northwest. One night specifically, I was on my way to Bend, Oregon, and I wasn't going to be able to make it that night, so I had to pull over and camp. And what I was doing for camping was dispersed camping. Essentially, there's no facilities there. It's just kind of the empty plot. And the dispersed campsite that I chose was off the main road, and it was just this backcountry road. It had snowed recently, and the only tracks were just one truck track that went out there. I was just driving through deep snow in my Mazda CX-5. It was like 5 miles out on this country road with just one other truck that had ever been out there. And then once I got to the dispersed campsite, it was just almost like a field. There were a couple bare trees, but it was just a field off of this road. So I had to dig my parking spot out so I didn't get stuck overnight and freeze my tires to the snow. So I dug my parking spot, moved my car over off the road, and then I had to go find a camp spot where I felt like the wind wasn't going to be too miserable because, again, not really many trees, and there had recently been high wind warnings, up to 70 miles an hour. So I was kind of stuck with having to make something work. And I finally found a spot where there weren't trees overhead, where they were going to fall on me overnight, and I could get some relief from the wind. And then I spent the next like 3 hours building a snow wall with the snow that was already there, just kind of chunking out blocks of snow, building it up around my tent site, put my tent down, and then overnight it snowed like another 1.5 feet of like wet, heavy snow. And throughout the course of the night, I remember waking up and just kind of having like the tent collapsed on my head. So I'd have to like brush it off and went back to bed, and then woke up again, sleeping in a tent in a sleeping bag with my dog there, and he was having a great time. And in the morning I woke up, it was like 3:30, and there was just so much snow. I was afraid of not being able to get back out. Again, this wasn't a maintained road, so it already snowed so much. I just packed all of my stuff up, soaking wet, snow everywhere, and was trying to get my dog and myself into my car and then drive out on this backcountry road with no lights. And I was kind of plowing myself out the road the whole time. Like my bumper was just dragging snow and just pushing it out of the way as I was going, not to mention trying to gather my dog, who was off leash, in the blizzard in the middle of the night with no ambient light whatsoever. So it was terrible. And then once I got on the main road, it was a blizzard all the way to Bend, Oregon, which was like another 120 miles. So a long drive going 30 miles an hour with just wispy winds and wet snow everywhere. On the way out there, I was like, I'm probably maxing out the height capabilities of this. And then overnight it snowed another 1.5 feet. So the whole way back, I was going like 10 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour for 5 miles on this road, just trying to stay on the road because there's gutters on either side, because it's just a dirt road, trying to stay in the lines, which I couldn't really see because they got filled in overnight. Just 5 miles an hour, chugging along, dog's in the back freaking out because he just wants to go play in the snow. Just
Oh my God.
made it out, and pitch black, made it onto the main road. And then again, just so slow, going 30 miles an hour on this highway.
Yeah, that was my other question. So how long did it take you, especially going 30 miles an hour, 120 miles?
Took like
Was
6
that
hours.
the next like big town or city? Like,
Yeah, it was just like the eastern portion of Oregon is barren. Like you have the mountains where Bend and Eugene and like all the major cities.
Yeah.
On the west side, it's just desert and like prairie.
Wow.
So it was like 300 miles. It was an entire tank of gas. Like I made it from gas station to gas station, and that was about all my car had.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing. I think it puts it into perspective of what I can do, but also enables me to keep doing the things that I love to do. Like none of the things I do are easy. They're challenging both cardiovascularly, but also strength and endurance, like muscular endurance. So being here, doing exercise and working out and being cognizant of my health and wellness enables me to continue to do these crazy things, but also give me leeway to get into these crazy situations while also having confidence that I can get out of them if I need to. When I first started, it was definitely, I just loved exercise. Like for 7 years, I didn't miss a single day of exercise. I either ran or I worked out, sometimes working out twice a day. And then after that, as I've aged and kind of gotten more perspective, I don't enjoy exercising. I just enjoy the benefits of the exercise, whether it be like aesthetics or whether it be capabilities to go out and do the things that I actually enjoy. Like, yeah, I think there is this huge misconception of trainers love working out. I think at one point we did, but then we started doing it as a job. And I think any hobby or passion that you do because you love it and then you turn it into a job, you eventually don't start to hate it, but you start to lose that like intense passion to do the thing.
Yeah.
And we just kind of keep doing it because we do love it, but it's also how we make money.